Asmod and I welcome you to this session titled on Opportunities for CS Enthusiasts. This session is presented by Microsoft Lawn Student Ambassador Program Community, and it is supported by Computer Science Initiatives in Nepal, CSIN. This session will be helpful to anyone who is interested in computer science and technologies. This session will be more informative to those who are in their senior year of high school, gap year right after high school, or who are at the beginning of their higher studies. Let me tell you in short about Microsoft Launch Student Ambassador Program. Microsoft Launch Student Ambassador Program, which was formerly known as Microsoft Student Partners Program, is a program that creates new opportunities and environment where the selected candidates can educate others on various technical skills and learn using the resources provided by the Microsoft Learn modules. You will learn more about this program as this session progresses. So for those who are joining now, um, we have just started this session, and if you think you have missed this beginning, we will be recording this session so that you can watch it later as well. So this program is supported by Computer Science Initiatives in Nepal, CSIN. It is a network organization of initiatives in Nepal Foundation, INF, which also includes physics initiatives in Nepal, PIN, mathematics initiatives in Nepal, MIN, and initiatives for girls in physics. This network organization works to enhance the status of opportunity in physics, mathematics, and computer science among young students. Computer Science Initiatives in Nepal, CSIN, is a committee of students passionate about computer science who are determined to transform the ways of learning and implementing the computer science in Nepal. So let's meet the presenters who will be presenting this session. So beside myself, we have Mr. Awan Shrestha and Mr. Eric Yu, and we will be presenting today's session. Let me introduce myself. I am Asmod and currently I am an undergraduate student at Kenyon College, Ohio. I was an Opportunity Funds participant for the year of 2020, and through that program I applied to the US colleges. So currently I am a Microsoft Launch Student Ambassador program participant, and I am in beta milestone. So I want to hand over this mic to Mr. Eric. So let's hear more about him from himself, and uh, let's. I want to hand over this mic to Eric. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So my name is Eric, and I am a Gold Microsoft Student Learn Ambassador, and I've been an ambassador for a little over a year now, almost a year and a half at this point. I'm also an undergraduate here at UC San Diego in sunny California. Um, and today I'll be talking a little bit about research and how you can get involved in your undergraduate experience in college as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take control real quick. There we go. So research is one of those things that you come into college and most people have not done in the past. It's one of those things where you really get introduced to it when you join college. And so the first question you might have is, well, what exactly is research, right? We hear about them when we're growing up, but we don't really understand what it is. And the answer is, we're using the scientific method to try and discover new things, to try and establish new facts and contribute to society and our knowledge pool as a whole. And especially in computer science, we have a couple very popular research fields such as artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, education, human-machine interaction, bioinformatics, and a lot more. So I actually currently do research in artificial intelligence. My specialty currently is in autonomous driving. And so these are all very popular things, and that I really recommend you take the time to explore when you're coming into college, because I think it's really going to be worth your time. So the way research works, or rather scientific method works, is you have these 6 steps. First, you have to make some sort of observation. This can be through reading research papers, or you just live in your life and you see something that's interesting and you'll make note of that. And then the next step is to ask a question. Say, okay, well, I observed that, but why did that happen? Or I came up with this new idea, but is it correct? And that's when we start forming a hypothesis, is we're basically putting our idea into writing. We're making it more well-defined so that we can really analyze it at a deeper level. This analysis is then, or rather this hypothesis is then evaluated through a prediction. So we'll say, okay, given this hypothesis, I predict that this new thing will happen, or this effect will be a consequence of whatever I predicted, and then I'll test it. And this is typically through experiments. And then from there, we'll see, okay, was our hypothesis correct? If it was, we'll write a paper on it. If it wasn't, then boo-hoo. Um, so yeah, this is the scientific method. I'm sure you've heard of it at some point in the past, but just a quick reminder. Now, typically how research works in college is you'll find a professor that shares your interests. For example, for me, I work under a professor that also likes autonomous driving and artificial intelligence. And when you find a professor to do research under, you'll also want to find someone who shares your interests. You don't want to be the one dude or the one gal who likes AI and then starts doing research under a systems professor, because it just won't match, right? You'll want to find someone who shares your interests. And then from there, you're actually not the one to make the hypotheses most of the time. It's actually the professor who's the quote unquote principal investigator. And that just means that it's the professor who's going to be making the questions, who's going to be forming the hypotheses, and who's going to be telling you their ideas so that you can be the ones to work with them on their sort of interests, right? They're the ones who are the really experienced ones, and you're the novice, and you're pretty much the person learning under their wing. So as an undergraduate, typically what you do is you test their hypotheses, and this is usually in the form of experiments. So they'll tell you to do something, and you pretty much do it. And I think it's best to know that what exactly the professor wants you to do too, so that you're both on the same page. But typically, it's the professor that again makes all the big decisions. And once the experiments work out, hopefully when they work out, you'll then usually have a research paper opportunity where this is your time to say, okay, we found something interesting that no one's done before. Now it's time for me to draw my conclusions and to present my findings. And this is really good for grad school, as Awan will talk about later on. So who should be doing research? Well, over the years, I've found that research is for people who are really willing to sacrifice a lot of time and money in order to pursue their interests. And especially in computer science, we know that computer scientists typically go that 4-year bachelor route into software engineering. So you'll come to college, you'll do your 4 years of bachelor's, and then you'll go find a job at hopefully a large tech company like Facebook or Amazon. Now, research is sort of the other path that you might want to consider, which is going into grad school, doing your master's, doing your PhD, and start looking into finding, contributing to society as a whole rather than to a company, I would say. Now, the thing about this is that you'll basically be sacrificing a lot of time, right? You'll have to get your master's and your PhD, and that's probably an additional 6 or 7 years right there, and a lot of money too, right? Because in that 6 or 7 years, you could have been working out in industry and potentially making a six-figure salary, and that's all money lost because you went to grad school. I'm not trying to be a pessimist here, but it's just something to consider, right? So now, on the other hand, research is for those who really want to become an expert in a field and who really enjoy it. Someone who sees a field and they're like, I can see myself doing that for the next 40 or 50 years of my life. If you really think about, have that sort of mindset for a particular field, research might be the way for you. For me in particular, I really enjoy AI. I can do it for hours on end. I won't get tired of it. And whenever I work on it, it's not even my work. It's just me having fun. So this kind of works out for me, but it's not, research is not for everyone in this sense. One thing to know is that you have to be really resilient as well as persistent when it comes to research. Unlike software engineering, progress in research is very non-linear. And that just means that you can spend about a month grinding out something and have absolutely no progress. and suddenly in about the span of 1 hour, you can make a huge leap forward. So it can be really demotivating sometimes when you work on some particular task for a long time and you basically get nowhere, or you're even going backwards in progress. But you really just got to keep going with research and to never give up. That's a big part of it. And then again, you have to be really passionate about what you do, or else research can be very taxing on you. So one way to get started in research, and this is the most popular way, by the way, is to first take a class that you're interested in. Say you're interested in cybersecurity, then you might want to start taking some classes in networking first, or computer architecture, and then make your way up towards that cybersecurity class at your university. And after that, really try to get to know your professor while you take the class. So, go to his office hours, go to their office hours, really do well in their homeworks and their exams and ace the class. And from there, you can then ask the professor if they have any research positions or if they can offer you any opportunities. For example, for me, I took the professor I do research under, I took one of his AI classes and I did pretty well in them. And then I asked for if he was free over the summer to advise me for this summer research opportunity, and he agreed for that. And that was how we got started with our relations. Another way to do this is actually to just look for some sort of university program or lab to get involved. So depending on what university you go to, if you go to a research university, there may be more opportunities for this. UC San Diego is a research university, but most universities and colleges will offer summer programs for you to get started in research and to put you under an advisor with it. So that might be a great way for you to get started is, try and join this program and ask for an advisor for you to be placed under. Another way is to apply to a lab. So once you get more and more experience in university, you can then just really apply to certain labs and have the professor then bring you in based on your code application. I know quite a few people who've also done that. But again, way one might be the best way in my opinion, in my experience, but really up to you. And these are really the main two ways. There might be some other ways, but it really just varies with circumstance. So a couple careers to top off research section is you could potentially become a professor once you finish up your PhD, maybe a postdoc or two in there. You could also go off into industry and make a bunch of money as a research scientist. One of the cool things about doing research is you're applying a lot of engineering principles inside of your research as well. So you could also become an engineer or a software engineer, I don't know, depending on whatever specialty you decide to do research in. It's really easy, I would say, to transition into that sort of job. The only downside is if you're going for engineer, you probably could have just done it without the PhD. But other than that, it's pretty easy to transition, I'd say. And one of the perks about doing research and potentially going into your master's and PhD is it opens up more opportunities for leadership positions. So you could have a much better chance at becoming a director of something or becoming a manager of something as a PhD holder over a bachelor holder, for example. So these are all some stuff to consider. And one thing, again, to just really remember about research is do it if you're really passionate about a field and you are very curious. You're curious and you never give up. If that sounds like you, then I think research might be something for you to explore. But other than that, I'm going to wrap up my section and pass it on to Awan.
So thank you very much, Eric. That was really insightful about research, and I really learned a lot from it. And I hope guys here have also learned a lot from it. So yeah, so my part here, student programs and what next. And before that, let me introduce myself. I am Awan Shrestha, and I am currently a final year computer engineering student here at Kathmandu University, and I'm also a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. learning new things, creating something out of the things I have learned, and sharing my knowledge, sharing my experience with others is what I love. So here I am today sharing whatever I know about the opportunities here in this program. So let me take the control of the slides. Okay, so in the start of the session, Asmod here have introduced a bit about Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. So who are we? Who are the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors? Now, you might have seen some of the posts posts in Facebook, Twitter by Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors page, and you might have also participated previously in some of the programs by Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. So Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador are the global group of on-campus ambassadors. The student ambassadors are the force of good, both locally and in the global scale as well. And student ambassador platform is really a great platform which provides you with opportunities to learn, share, and explore. So why are there? Why are student ambassadors there? Student ambassadors are there because they are really passionate about sharing what they know. They are really passionate about doing something good for the community. I personally really, from the beginning of like my education, let's say, or from the beginning of my undergraduate studies, I really loved about sharing what I know. I really loved about teaching others what I know. So I joined this community, and this community has really provided me with the opportunities, with chances, with opportunities for networking, to learn, to share, and to grow myself together with the community. And we are here to make a difference with people around the world. If you know something and if you teach or if you share that with someone else, it is a tiny step in making this world a slightly better place. It helps to grow your skills, it helps to build your reputation as a tech insider and also a leader in your local tech community and empower your peers. The One of the major benefit of this kind of program is to grow the leadership skills in you that will really help you in your future careers. And um, not only that, being a student ambassadors, not only you will grow your skills, you will grow your technical skills, you will grow your soft skills, you will grow your leadership skills. Also, you will have a lot of perks. Now, saying about the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador program, once you become a student ambassador, you have a lot of perks, you have a lot of opportunities, and you have a lot of benefits. To mention a few benefits, you get the Office 365 package, and all like you we need to buy Office 365 package, right? But once you become a student ambassador, you get the Office 365 package for free. And not only limiting to that, you get the TechSmith, Camtasia, and Snagit, which are really good helpful tools to create the videos. Now, talking about another benefit, you get the monthly subscription of Microsoft Azure, where you get $150 credit in your account monthly. So that is a huge opportunity for you to explore in the domain of cloud computing, and you can really do a lot in that amount, and you can really learn a lot during this period. And one of the greatest benefit is the networking. The the peers, the people you meet in this program, that you learn from them, it's really great. It's one of the greatest benefit you can have. And not only that, you also get a premium LinkedIn learning for 6 months. And there are a lot of benefits of LinkedIn, like you can get LinkedIn learning, and you can really send messages to anybody you want. So there are a lot of benefits of that. And adding to that, you can get a free domain name from name.com. And similarly, you might have seen like student ambassadors or people posting about their certifications from Microsoft. So you get a free MTC certificate by which you can apply, and you can give the exam for Microsoft certification, and that is also free once you become a student ambassador. Adding to that, you might have seen people posting about their swags. So you get this really beautiful, really amazing swag from Microsoft. And you might also be called, if you are like doing great thing for your communities, you might also be called for the summit. Due to the coronavirus restrictions, this year the summit had been virtual, but usually it happens somewhere globally, somewhere in some cities around the world. So you might be called for that. And not only limiting to the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador program, once you are in your let's say undergraduate or once you are in your student life, there are other student programs as well where you can apply to. There are student programs like AWS Educate, a student ambassador program, which is a student ambassador program by AWS Educate, where you you have to have basic knowledge of skills of cloud, and you will really getting a lot of benefits. Like you will be able to meet the people from AWS. They provide you with AWS credits, and once and another benefit of these kind of student ambassador programs is that if you are hosting events, like let's say in your college, in your campus, if you are hosting events, you really get a lot of benefits from this kind of student ambassador programs. Like you get AWS credits, promo codes, you can get stickers, you can get t-shirts for those kind of events as a support. And there is also developer student clubs at Google DSC, which is also a really great program. I think currently as of now it is not available in Nepal, but I'm sure it will in future it will be. So keep an eye out for that as well. And not only that, once you are in university, you get your university edu email, your college edu email, and with the help of that email you can get GitHub students developer pack. So it is really very helpful pack. Like in the GitHub student developers pack, you can get like you can get the subscriptions, you can get the benefits of like worth of thousands of dollars. You can get if you are into like blogging kind of things, you might know about domain names and hosting. You can get like three domain names for free, and you can get hostings, you can get tools, you can get design tools, you can get tools for APIs. There's a lot of benefits inside the GitHub student developer pack. So if you are just starting out, once you get your edu email, just definitely check out for the GitHub student developer pack. There's a lot into it, and you can really and it will be really helpful in your life as a student, because you're getting a lot of things free inside that developer pack. And also there is also a program, GitHub Campus Expert, where once you have the student developer pack, you can apply for GitHub Campus Expert, where the campus experts are the group of people who are building the communities, who are helping, who are trying to grow, who are trying to help their communities. And these kind of student ambassador programs are really helpful in growing your community, as well as growing you, upgrading yourself to a better version. But saying that, all that glitters is not gold. Now, sometimes you might have seen programs like student ambassador program and related to some random college name, or related to some random let's say uh, industry. Now I'm not saying that all of those are bad, uh, uh, be safe from some kind of student ambassador programs where they really like like they are not so much popular, and they kind of like ask for money with you for being the part of the program, and they kind of like force you to sell kind of their products. So be really aware of that, because all of these great student ambassador programs like Microsoft Learn student ambassador programs, AWS Educate program, GitHub Campus Expert, all of these programs never ask for like money or something from you. What they do is they want to select the best students, best of the best students. So the I also saw a question here: how can one be a student ambassador? So there's an application process for all of these kind of student ambassador programs. Like there's a separate process for Microsoft Learn student ambassador program, there's a separate process for AWS Educate, there's a separate process for GitHub Campus Expert. But what they have in common is they ask for, they want to know about you, they want to know what you are doing, they want to know about what kind of impact you are having in your community, and they want to know that once you become an ambassador, what you can do to grow your community, to help other students out, because that is what we do. And so beware of about those kind of student ambassador programs where like they are kind of like selecting everybody, like whoever applies gets into that, and they use you for like kind of marketing things. So um, yeah, so be aware of that. And for being the student ambassador programs, there is a process. Like you can for every student ambassador programs, there are like kind of forms, there are application forms opening during the different times of the year, and you can apply through those. So not only the student ambassador programs, when you are in your undergraduate studies, you can also be parts of different kind of clubs. Like not only like the music, arts, science clubs, but also the social clubs. You can be a part of a lot of the clubs because you will learn a lot from these kind of extra activities apart from academics as well, and you will really make a lot of good friends while you become the part of the clubs. I know a lot of people will familiarize, a lot of people will relate to it, that when you are going joining a club and you meet people and you learn so many things from them. So make sure that you join clubs, and it will really help to grow your network. It will really help to meet amazing people. If you are in like studying in Nepal, then from different districts, from different places of Nepal, and if you are like going abroad from different part of the world, you can meet people. And talking about meeting people and getting with them, your friends and your circle uh, really define you, because there's a saying something like you are the average of 5 or 6 people you spend most of your time with. So uh, while choosing your circle, make sure that you are in a good one, because sharing my personal story, I do not come from a coding background. So I came for computer engineering, but I was really interested in, but I was not so much good at coding. I was really a newbie, but my circle was like, they were all very experienced coders. They were like coding in night, they were coding in day, so they used to code a lot. And what eventually became was, with staying with them, doing what they do, I really picked it up fast. So it was really helpful for me. And so your friends and circle really matters, and also do have fun, because undergraduate studies is like one of the best part of your life. So to have fun with your friends, with your circle, and also think a little bit about the future, because what next? Once your undergraduate study is finished, what next? Now the options might be limitless, but basically for most of the people out there, either they will go for higher studies after that, or they will start out with a job, or someone if someone finds some idea, they might just go for this startup. They might open their own startup after uh, after the uh, after the undergraduate school. So if you are thinking about going for higher studies, really do a lot of research about it. And Eric here earlier have to a lot of things here about the research and research programs, so those will really help. And also maintain a good relation, like Eric had said, good relation with your professors, with your, and also maintain good academics, like your maintain your GPA, maintain your percentages. And when you're applying for grad schools, what they basically mostly expect from you is a very good personal statement, like who are you, and like what has been your journey. So uh, while sharing that journey, if you haven't done much in your undergraduate school, there will come a feeling that if I could only go back to my first year, I could have done those kind of things. So don't let those kind of moments come to you. So just, you don't need to know like what you need to do right in the start of the college for like first or second year, but just have in mind that I want to do this, and really prepare accordingly and maintain your grades. Do research is really helpful. And be Eric have already mentioned a lot about that. Be really curious, and also if you can pick up, do an internship. Now talking about internship, there is a section coming later on. And also keep an eye out on different kinds of exams like GRE, GMAT. You have to clear all those for going abroad for grad schools, so keep an eye on that. And talking about the internship section, while you are in your undergraduate studies. Now you might see students doing internships from the start of the uh, year, like first year students getting internships. And there are some people who do internship like in the last year of their undergraduate studies. So it really depends upon you. I think at the end of the second or third, or like third year is one of the best time you can get internship, because in the first and second year, you can like learn about the basic stuffs. You can learn about you can explore different kind of domains, like where you want to go. And don't just randomly pick up any intern. You don't have to like accept the first internship chance you get. Make sure that whatever you're doing, it aligns with your future goals. It aligns with what you are going to do in the future. And uh, In some places I have seen that there are like companies asking for people to give them internship, like not paying but asking for money for internship. So never do that. Actually never even do the free internship. If you are like, if you are good and if you are giving a service, then internship is a learning opportunity. But if you are working, then and they are making some money out of it, they have to pay you. So uh, initially don't just go for the payment, but never pay for an internship, because uh, internship is an opportunity to learn, but you don't have to pay for that. So never go for unpaid internship. Try to but in order to find a good internship at a good company, you will really have to work. You have to work on your skills. You have to work at least in something skills, like you have, or should be very good at research and learning. And not only that, you need to find out opportunities. So finding out opportunities, searching for opportunities, grabbing them. uh, for a lot of those and other things, Asmod here will be taking on from now, and he'll be talking about building the network with LinkedIn. So thank you, Asmod, all yours now.
Thank you, Awan and Eric, for your insightful presentation. So let me take a control of this presentation. So okay, so just to add on the part Awan mentioned about connections. So I want to say that, so as you know, Awan and I are from Nepal and Eric is from the US, right? So uh, because of this wonderful Microsoft student ambassador program, we got the platform to get connected, demystifying the borders. And today we are we are conducting this event to help you learn more about the events and opportunities that are available during your college life. So yeah, these kind of connections are really important. Uh, and now I want to talk about LinkedIn and how it can help you build connections and help your life, academic life as well as professional life. So let me begin with it. So what is LinkedIn? Sorry. So as you know, so I believe that you might have heard about LinkedIn at least some point of your life, and I believe that some of you might have account on it. So if you are using LinkedIn, that's great. You should definitely do it. So talking about LinkedIn, so LinkedIn is the largest business-oriented networking website. So LinkedIn is just like Facebook, but on Facebook you have friends, but on LinkedIn you have connections. So connections are like more professional sort of friends. So this is the difference between Facebook and LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is just like I mentioned, LinkedIn is for professionals. And on LinkedIn, there are over 500 million members in over 200 countries. So LinkedIn is a global networking platform where you can find people from all over the world, and you will find the people in the professional field. So that is the basic about LinkedIn. So I want to talk more about why you should use LinkedIn and how uh, it can help you in your life. So LinkedIn helps you to gain exposure to hiring managers and recruiters. It is a fact that 93% of the recruiters use LinkedIn to research and to recruit candidates. Yes, you heard it right, to recruit candidates. So hiring managers use LinkedIn to get people to work for their companies. So it's a great place where you can get connected with the hiring managers. And in order to get exposure to those hiring managers and recruiters, you need to build a nice looking profile there. Just like you make your profile on Facebook, you need to make a nice looking profile on LinkedIn, where you will like write about many things that you have done in professional life. You might have done some internship, you might have done some volunteering jobs, you might have skills, different sort of skills. You might have coding skills, you might have different management skills, and so on. LinkedIn is the place where you can showcase your professional skills and qualities so that the hiring managers get you noticed. And it can really help to get hired in different companies. And uh, the LinkedIn is a place is a really nice place where you can get connected with those hiring managers. So another benefit of using LinkedIn is that you can use it in terms of research tools. So as you can see in this slide, here is a screenshot of Google. So if you search Google on LinkedIn, you can find this company page about Google, where you can find different information about those companies. So you can basically know about the size of the companies. So as you can see in this slide, there is a it has written the information about the number of employees, and along with that, LinkedIn also tells you about like who people of your connections who are working in that company. For example, if I have someone in my connections who is working on Google, it shows me the information that the person is working on the Google. So by doing so, by knowing that information, what I can do is I can reach out that person and I can know more about his work experience in Google. Like I can know more about working in Google, how to apply for different positions in Google and things like that. So connections like this really matters, and you can do more about research about those companies and job opportunities by using LinkedIn, and it is a really helpful tool to do research about big companies. So talking about companies, you can find different sort of companies from large tech companies like Google, Microsoft, and others to small companies that you might not have heard about in your localities. So LinkedIn is a really great place where you can search about companies and hiring managers. So just like I mentioned that hiring managers use LinkedIn, and so in this slide you can see what the profile of hiring managers look like. So on the left part you can see a profile of a hiring manager, and I have like, highlighted the fact that she's a hiring manager, and on the on her profile also she has the uh, hashtag of hiring, and that means she's hiring. So if so basically she will be hiring, she's a hiring manager, and she will be hiring people. So if you reach out to her and other people like her who are hiring managers, and you can find different opportunities that are available in the companies, because these are the people because the job of these people is to hire, right? So if you get connected with these people, there's a good chance that you can get some jobs, because talking with those hiring managers can help you sort out different types of opportunities that can best fit for your qualifications and for your interest, and that can help you build a strong portfolio in professional life. Similarly, on the left side, on the right side, you can see that a notification that some jobs are available for me, and I got this notification because on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a really great tool to get job opportunities, because LinkedIn itself suggests you what jobs are available in the locations you are looking for. So here in LinkedIn, I had like posted that I had like mentioned that I can work for social media managers, and LinkedIn showed me the some job alerts that social media managers jobs are available in Nepal. So yeah, LinkedIn is a really great tool to get connected with hiring managers. Just like I mentioned, the profile of hiring managers looks somewhat like that, and LinkedIn also gives a lot about the job openings that are relevant to your interest and your qualifications. So use LinkedIn definitely. And on LinkedIn, you can follow companies. I had mentioned about Google on the earlier side, and I have mentioned consulting here. And talking about consulting is itself a great place to know more about great tech companies like Amazon, Facebook, Google, Microsoft. And I highly suggest you to follow this company and attend the events, because this company conducts different events where they invite a guest uh, from the companies itself, from the Google, from Microsoft, and big companies, where they share about their experiences and how about the job aspect of those companies. So you can ask your questions there. I'm pretty sure that many of you are interested in working in these big companies, right? So as a computer science enthusiast, many of us are interested in working for big tech companies, and following these companies and attending the events that they provide can be a really great way to make a path to work in these companies in future. So not only these companies provide internship opportunities, they also provide different types of job opportunities and many more. So following these companies and events is always helpful. So on LinkedIn, you can find different groups, just like in Facebook, you have groups, but on LinkedIn, you'll find different specific groups. So in this slide, as you can see, it is a group of Kenyan alumni. So as you know, I study at Kenyan, and I joined this group because this is the place where I can find people graduated from Kenyan and graduated from Kenyan and working in different professional fields, right? And that is it's because they are working in different professional fields. They have accounts on LinkedIn. So as you can see on the right side of that screenshot, there is a list of people who are in this group. So there are around like 4,500 people who are in this group. So all of them are so many of them are Kenyan alumni who have graduated from Kenyan. So but what joining these groups can help me in a way that by after I interact with them, I can know many things about their professional life. So if they are working in some companies that I am interested in, they can guide me to help me to work in their companies, right? So it is always nice to get connected with the alumni and to get help in professional life. So LinkedIn is a great place to get connected with people graduated from your school, college, and institutions like that. So while talking about this kind of benefits, so it is always helpful if if you uh, proactively make a nice looking profile on LinkedIn. So I suggest you to do these following things so that you can get noticed. You can get the maximum benefits of using LinkedIn. So make a nice looking profile on LinkedIn, just like I showed you earlier the profile of Eric, where he had put his nice looking profile picture, cover picture. He had described what he does, and yeah, that helps a lot because people can know many things about you just by looking your profile and just by glancing at your profile. So you can also add a CV, skills, experiences, awards, and so on in LinkedIn. So of course, if you add your CV, hiring managers can know almost everything they need to know for hiring, right? So adding CV on your LinkedIn will always help. And similarly, you can add skills, experiences, and awards and so on because these things highlight your professional part of your life. So join relevant LinkedIn groups, just like I joined. I have joined the groups like Kenyan alumni because that group is relevant to me. So you can join different relevant groups on LinkedIn, which you believe can help you elevate your life, professional life. So in the similar manner, you can also follow different companies, Google, Microsoft. Go for it. Just follow them. Get the updates from those companies. When you follow them, you can see many post contents of those companies on your feeds, and getting more about the companies always helps to know you know to know insights of the companies. Yeah, similarly, yeah, make connections because LinkedIn is a place where you make connections, and when you get connected with the people, you can know many things what they do. And one thing is that when you have like people who are if you have people around you who are doing great things, it will always positively help you. So go and create an account on LinkedIn and start making connections. So in the similar manner, you can share your thoughts by making posts and comments on LinkedIn. So you can make posts just like you can make posts on Facebook. So but you be careful to making the sort of post you make there because it's a professional platform. So your post also helps you. The type of post you make can give people the sense of of your personality. So try to make a great post that will positively help you, and try to get engaged in the comments. um, by doing so, you can get you can make many connections on LinkedIn. So these are my suggestions that you can do on LinkedIn. So other than that, you can explore LinkedIn by yourself, and LinkedIn is a great tool that can help you in your professional life. So yeah, that is all from my part. And so basically, thank you so much for attending this session. Mr. Eric and Mr. Awan, would you like to say something at the end of this session? Eric?
Sorry, I was having mic issues. No, I just want to say great job, Asmod and Awan, and I think we're ready to open up for FAQs. What do you think?
Yeah. So if you have questions, feel free to ask them on chat. So we will try to answer them. So you can provide your feedbacks also if you want.
So I'm just gonna answer. I believe. Sorry if I pronounce this wrong. Arpit's question directly instead of writing in the chat. So if you're currently in high school and or in your earlier years of university right now, and you don't have a lot to put on your LinkedIn or on your resume or any of that, I was there once upon a time as well. Uh, it's nice to just put anything that really you think is special to you. So right here, I'm seeing that you have the SEE, which is the secondary education examination. I'm not quite sure what that is personally, but if you don't have much else to put on your resume, you could definitely put that on there. Another thing you could put on your resume is like your SAT score, your GPA at your current high school, and any sort of projects that you've worked on or experience that you've had that relates to something that you're looking for. Like if you're looking for an internship in software engineering and you don't have a lot of experience, just think back to like, okay, well, what have I done up to this point, right? If I've been part of the robotics club at my high school, that'd be something that I'd put. If I did really well in this examination, I could also put that, right? If you did well in your SEE, that's definitely something that you can put.
And to add on that, if you have got some awards during your academic life, you can definitely put that. That will highlight your profile. Yes, these are the things you can put on your profile and resume.
Also, there is a question: when is the deadline to apply? Sneha, I guess you mean deadline to apply for Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador program. If it is not that, could you please clarify for which program are you asking the deadline for? And speaking for Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador program, the applications are open throughout the year, so you can apply at any time. And the student ambassadors are selected quarterly, so 4 times a year, student ambassadors are like selected, so you can apply at any time. But depending upon at what time you applied, your results would be announced. Like student ambassador would be selected at uh, January, and I guess next cohort will be selected somewhere around April or May. Isn't it, Eric?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
There's a question like, when is the deadline to apply?
Yeah, so the deadline is quarterly. So by quarterly, I mean once uh, every quarter of the year, pretty much. So one in January of 2021, I believe that was the last decision date. I am actually not quite sure when the next one is. I imagine sometime in March, like this month even. And I think the next one might just be maybe in a couple months, like 3 months, 3 or 4 months.
Yep.
Yeah. So definitely there's one in September because that's the one I joined in. Um, so yeah, it's about every 3 or 4 months. So yeah, AJ, again, I'm not quite sure how to answer that question because, yeah, since you're taking a gap year, I'm just not quite sure how that would work. What I'd recommend you do is hold off for a bit on applying and just ask Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador help directly. So you can just email them. Let me see if I can find their email. I think if you click that FAQ I sent you, there's a link that says contact us for more help. I believe so. Yeah, essayhelp@microsoft.com. That'll be it. Alrighty. Does anyone else have any questions about research, about grad school, software engineering internships, what computer science is? If not, I believe that's everything we got. What do you guys think?
So I have just shared one link which you can visit, where you can find important links to different programs we talked about, and you can also find our contacts information over there. So yeah, visit this. You can visit this link.
Sounds good. Alrighty. Well, if you guys have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out to any one of us, Asmod, myself, or Awan. I'm just gonna go ahead and actually the link's already up there. I'm just gonna paste it in the chat one more time. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach us at our emails on that. Just to answer AJ, is there any barrier for an individual to get their research paper published? Any qualification needed? So you actually don't. There's no barriers at all. I guess the real barrier is just how good your research is. Um, a lot of the times you're going to be applying or submitting your research papers to conferences, and certain conferences will have different acceptance rates. So they'll choose pretty much the top 30% of all papers, for example, submitted to that conference. So, and that's really the only criteria. You don't even have to be in college. As long as the research is good, um, and the paper is solid, the experiments are solid, then you will have a good chance of getting in. So yeah, great question. So your research paper will be presented if so. Suppose you submit to a conference before their deadline, and you get accepted into the conference. They'll typically invite you to a conference about a month later, uh, and that's where you can present your paper. Uh, Now, I believe that you'll also have a chance to give a talk on your paper, but that just depends by conference. Um, if you don't get submitted or don't get accepted to a conference, you can always apply to another conference or just publish on ARXIV, which is an informal publication place. It's a place where you can just publish something without having to be submitted or accepted or make any revisions. It's just a repository for papers. Okay, so I think we can end this call. Thank you guys so much for joining. Awan, Asmod, do you guys have anything else to add?
Not really. Yeah, we also want to say thank you so much for joining this session. It means a lot that you joined this session, and it was very helpful to. It was very nice to share our thoughts on the topics we presented. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you guys. Have a great Saturday.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you guys. Bye bye.